Shalom, it's me, Sudden Skye, and welcome back to Mega Man 4 for the NES. And see, now with the Mega Man Legacy Collection, you are allowed to save and load your games. So I just did that just in case I don't survive this very Russian-looking castle of Cossack here. But yes, Mega Man just pulled up to Siberia and said, I'm gonna kick Cossack's ass this time. Really going out of his way just to take this guy on. But you might have noticed that I have not really mentioned much about Mega Man 4's music. In my previous playthroughs of the previous Mega Man games, Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, I always made it a point to gush over how good the music was in those games. But in Mega Man 4, it's not really the case. The music's very average in my opinion. I don't know, I think it's agreed upon because from most opinions I hear on Mega Man 4, people don't really care that much. I mean, it's like alright music. It's like very basic though, because no track really stands out to me. I think if I had to point out one track, it would probably be Skullman's thing, but doesn't really say much about the rest of the soundtrack of the whole game. But you know, it's not spectacular, but it's not like bad, I guess. Which, I mean, for this era, I guess that's like the most you could hope for. There were a lot of NES games way back when that just had very ear-piercing noises. But I think Mega Man at this point was really running its course and starting to deteriorate in its popularity. Since like the Super Nintendo was a big thing. Whoa, quick little rewind there. But since the Super Nintendo was out, I think people, like, Mega Man games started losing its flair that it had when they introduced the Mega Buster. Everyone was complaining that it sort of ruined the sort of like the charm of like having like the powers when you played the Mega Man games, because like the Mega Buster was basically just a more powerful lemon, and the powers that you used against the bosses were supposed to be the like real damage doers. But as you saw when I was playing this game, I really didn't use many of the powers to take on the boss masters. So that's just like a little complaint that people had. Wow, I rewinded way more times in this part than I remembered. You know. But yeah, some people didn't like the Charge Buster when they introduced it, but it managed to stay as a staple in the series for every Mega Man game after this. Except maybe 9. I forget if it was DLC for 9, but yeah. A thing that people didn't like ended up staying in the whole series after. And I like the Charge Buster, you know? It's like, I like having like the readiness and the preparedness to take on like a big enemy, like this jumper robot here. Like, I mean, I didn't have my Charge Buster out at this point, but you know, you get the picture. I like having like that ready to go, like just one quick charge shot to take them out. And some games do it better than others. I think this game does it alright. Mega Man X3, on the other hand, oh, we'll get to that one soon. That game's a whole train wreck. But here we have death. This is the first Cossack boss, the flying drill machine. I forget if that has an actual name, but you want to use the ring boomerang on this guy. And hit it at that center glowing dot on his stomach. Occasionally he'll drill holes in the ground, and he'll try to shoot you with like this targeting circle beam. And if you let him drill in the hole twice, I think it like just creates a bottomless pit. So, you know, you could take him out quick enough for him to not even get to his first hole. I think. But if he makes any more holes than the one, I think you might be taking a little too long on this boss. All of the Cossack bosses are pretty simple. Actually, you know, this upcoming one is probably not that simple. It took me a while to beat it. But yeah, Mega Man X3 is a total disaster. One of the worst Mega Man X's, I'd have to say. Probably up there with Mega Man X6. But yeah, in this section you want to use the Rush Jet. You might have seen me use the Rush Jet earlier. The Rush Jet is really useful when you want to just like fly over any obstacle that you want. And you want to keep weary of your weapon energy for this, because if you lose your weapon energy, it is spike time for you, and then you just die. Yeah, and it'll be useful in this area if you want to replenish your other weapon energy, but you know, you don't have to worry that much about your weapon energy in Mega Man X, or Mega Man 4, jeez. Because when you lose all your lives, it just brings you, like, it just refills all your weapon energy, and you don't have to worry about going to the beginning of all the castles in this fortress, because, you know, Mega Man X4 is very forgiving in that way, that it doesn't just send you to the beginning. The one thing that's not forgiving, though, if you die on one of the bosses in this fortress, it sends you to the beginning of the stage, so there's no middle checkpoint area that you can get to. But yeah, actual use of the wire, and this is when I realized that Mega Man does like a little nod thing when you look up. It's kind of funny. I was having fun with that. But yeah, the wire is very useful in this fortress when you don't want to use the balloons or you know, Rush Jet to get through areas. Again, it's an optional item, but very useful to have. And occasionally there will be these brick walls that you have not seen in previous stages, I don't think, yet. And you could use the drill power on those. Most Mega Man games have been having this type of wall in it. And you really want those E-tanks. I don't know why, but I like just getting as many E-tanks as I want, just like, or as I can, so I could just not care about my health at some point. like I could just start wasting them on like the last Wily boss. I always do that for every Mega Man game. And the good thing about this Mega Man game is if you get a game over, it does not take away your E-tanks. I think they do that in Mega Man 2, which sucks. Or it might be Mega Man 1. I forget if Mega Man 1 even has E-tanks now. It's been a minute. Maybe I could get to Mega Man 1 on the newly released Genesis Classic. But yes, we have this type of boss, the boss that is the room itself, sort of. I feel like this is like always a thing in Mega Man games where there's like a boss where that is just like the room that you have to face. But this boss you take out with the dust attack, I believe. When I was fighting these bosses, I honestly didn't know their weakness coming in, so I was just trying the weapons to see what works. But it seems that the dust attack does the job proper. When the shifty obstacles are going side to side, you want to either jump over it or slide under it. Which, you know, easy to see coming. It's like, even when it's fast, it's like, oh, it's coming from that direction, so you're just ready to slide under it. And if you don't successfully slide under it, it just like sort of squeezes you in between itself and the wall, and you just take a hit. You don't instantly die. But I was being stupid by trying to slide under it for longer, because I think it's funny when Mega Man's just like lying on the floor just sliding. But apparently if you try to do that, the game doesn't like that and just like squeezes you over it and then just makes you take a hit. But I wasn't really too worried about my health at this point because I had E-Tanks. That was a mulligan. I didn't think I would die there. And I thought, you know, I thought I would risk it. So I feel like I deserve one rewind at that point. Like, just one time for the one time, okay? I feel like I deserve it as a Mega Man veteran player at this point, right? I deserve the luxuries of what is given to me, okay? But yeah. And I hope you're not prone to seizures, because the bosses still flash in Mega Man 4 after you kill them. And I will see you guys in the next part. See you later.